All right. Thank you for joining. Today we'll go over TAO, TAL, USDT on the perpetual contract Binance chart. And as you can see here with TAO, we are pretty much at the low end of this range, right? So the range lows, as you can see, is around $164. The high is coming in at $750. Now, 50% of that range is around 450. That's where you've been seeing a lot of selling pressure coming in, or buyers basically failing to push price higher, right? So when thinking about it that way, you can see that we are now trading in the bottom half of this range. As ICT would say, we are in the discount of the overall range. And in my opinion, we should be making our way back up to at least the 50% mark, which is basically equilibrium, which comes in at $450, right? We got a nice bounce off this fair value gap, this weekly fair value gap, which is a very powerful and bullish price action, which happened. And we've had, since that touch, we've had 3 bullish weeks following, right? One time framing to the upside. And now we're just consolidating at the beginning of this week. In my opinion, I think we may even end the week green, right? We've just been one time framing to the upside. So with that being said, since it is the beginning of the week, usually price action on most cryptos or stocks, they kind of go in the opposite direction before closing the week out, or the candle out in the opposite direction, right? So right now I'm thinking that it is looking to just fill this inefficiency on the weekly. Let's see if I have a, no, don't have a line for that. But yeah, so we're just trying to fill this inefficiency because from last week, as you can see here, right? Just looking at this, last week's price action, only buy side was delivered, right? So with that being said, you look at the week before that, no price action on the left side here. Now this week, we are cleaning this up. Prices come down a decent amount here, and we might just end up flipping green either tomorrow or Thursday, pushing higher to take out these local highs, right? Go ahead and delete this. There's also another weekly fair value gap right here. So worst case scenario, I can expect, let me go ahead and actually delete this. I would actually expect price to possibly come back down to this level, maybe sweep this low as internal liquidity before continuing higher, right? But if that was to happen, I would think this may take another few weeks to play out, right? So kind of something like this, right before moving to the upside. I guess in the higher time frames, I might as well use the arrows because it's just a lot cleaner. Right, something like that. But that may take a few weeks, right? But if we go down to the daily time frame, this is where you can really see price action start to come together, right? So like I said, 50% marks up there. We've impulsed into this resistance, came down, and touched the weekly fair value gap, impulse higher. And now we're finding some resistance locally, right? Which makes sense. You know, we're coming back up to the range highs. If I was to just pull the golden pocket of the entire, this range right here, you'll see you basically hit that. Very technical. That's exactly where we're rejecting from, right? After we're reaching that golden pocket of the current range that we are trading in, right? So yes, you know, I would expect a little bit more of a move to the downside. Since this is a daily chart, things may take the rest of the week into next week to play out before possibly another move to the upside, right? So this week, for the rest of the week, in my opinion, if we don't get some buyers to step in on Bitcoin and crypto in general, I think the rest of the week should be pretty bearish, actually. It just makes sense. You had Monday was indecision candle, Tuesday bearish, closing below that candle. And we actually took out this low, right? So on a lower time frame, there has been a market structure shift, and it looks like we're just kind of seeking lower prices at the moment. For the ones that trade fair value gap, there is one right here, right? We can see if price is going to push up into this level before continuing down, targeting $275. So that's my overall target if the bearish trend continues, right? If we go down to the 1 hour, but first, actually, the next closest target obviously is 296. Pretty much $300 psychological level will be the next closest target. We can possibly bounce from there. I think that would be a little bit nicer in terms of price action, just to bounce from this level instead of coming all the way down. But if we do come all the way down and hold this level, then I would actually expect a very quick move to the upside, similar to like what happened here, right? To go back and take out these highs. All right, let's go down to the 1 hour. And as you can see, everything is just range bound at the moment. Still thinking bearish. We're below the VWAP. Price has not even come back to test the fair value gap on the 4 hour. It still can. We're holding this level at 304. If we continue down, next target is 295. And then final target, in my opinion, would be 275. So I'm not even thinking about entering a long trade on TAO until we get down to around 275. But if we were to take, let's see here, where's golden pocket? So golden pocket lines up right there around 300, 297. So, you know, I would consider taking a long at these lows, just because that's just the golden pocket or optimal trade entry zone according to ICT, which lines up quite well. No one really knows what will happen with the market. It also lines up, as you can see, we do technically have a support zone here, right? Right, resistance, support, 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 resistance, 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 support. So looking at it overall, right, just like this, you can see how, you can really see how much price respected that level, right? You can really see how much price respected that level, and we're now trading back above it. So where would I expect to get another reaction? Right in this area, which lines up with the golden pocket, and also lines up with a liquidity zone right below. So that's definitely going to be my area of interest. Preferably would be very nice to get kind of like a quick move down to the downside, take out that liquidity, buyers step in, price holds. You know, I would be looking to go long right around here. And for sure, I would be trying to hold this target for, at the very minimum, these highs, 11% away, but I would like to target 20% higher at 365. And that's pretty much my trade plan with Bittensor. Don't really need this anymore, to be honest. But yeah, that is my trade plan. If it comes down at least one long here, if this level fails, then yes, the next best area, in my opinion, would be 275. And this is how you have to trade and think, ladies and gentlemen. Plan the trade, trade the plan. And if I get a long down there, you're talking 32% instead. So let's just see how this all plays out over the next few days, possibly next few weeks. We have a plan, and we will see exactly how it plays out. Remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on X. I try to post as often as possible. Leave a comment below of a project you'd like to see me trade. I posted a video not too long ago on Bitcoin. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, thank you for joining. Would be interested in a possible scalp short here to target down even lower, right? just based on how market is looking right now. It'd be nice to get a nice little short trade here to aim for these levels. Thank you for joining. Take care until next time. Goodbye.